Find 1 plus I to the power 6. Whenever you are raising a complex number to a power, if you can convert it to a cis form, then you can use de Moivre's theorem, which says that if you have z equals r cis theta, then z to the n equals r to the n cis n theta. Okay, so it's literally that simple. You raise the modulus to the power that you're raising a complex number to, and then you just multiply the argument by the power. So we have 1 plus I, which is a simple enough number. In fact, we've dealt with this quite a lot, so you probably even remember what it is, but you're going to have on the real axis 1, on the imaginary axis also 1. So 1 plus I is over here. The argument is pi over 4, and the modulus is root 2. It's 1 squared plus 1 squared and the square root of that. So the modulus of 1 plus I equals the square root of 1 squared plus 1 squared equals root 2, and the argument of 1 plus I equals pi by 4. Okay, so now 1 plus I to the power 6 equals what we've just said what the modulus is and the argument, so it's going to be root 2 cis pi by 4, root 2 cis pi by 4, so all of that to the power 6, so that is going to be root 2 to the power 6 times cis, and then we multiply pi by 4 by 6, so 6 pi by 4, we'll sort it out in a minute, 6 pi by 4. Okay, so root 2 to the power 6, well, root 2 squared is 2, and 2 cubed is 8, so that must be 8, equals 8 cis, and then 6 pi by 4 is 3 pi by 2. Okay, so we could potentially change that quite a bit later. I'm just going to draw 3 pi by 2. So if you think about pi by 2 is 90 degrees, so if we have 3 of these, we have 1, 2, 3 pi by 2 is here, right? So you can see, well, cis pi by 2, cos pi by 2 is 0, sine pi by 2 is minus 1. Okay, but also I can think of this complex number as actually being cis minus pi by 2, minus pi by 2. Remember, it's not, you don't always have to do it, but if it's easy enough and you can, then you should stick with, try and make sure the argument's between minus pi and pi. Okay, so that equals 8 cos minus pi by 2, or 3 pi by 2, we'll stick with that, plus I sine 3 pi by 2, or minus pi by 2, it's exactly the same. It's 8 times all of that. We just said cos pi by 2 was 0, so equals 8 times 0 plus I times sine 3 pi by 2 is minus 1. Minus 1. Okay, so basically it's 8 times 0 is 0. Minus I times 8 is minus 8i. So minus 8i is our final answer.